right here. 999 hours, 59 minutes, 13 seconds. We're counting down for the Mudman, the G-Shock GW-9500 to roll over for 1,000 hours on the stopwatch. And this has happened a few times. And all the other times I've missed it for almost the past year. But this time, thanks for your reminders, we're getting it. We're getting closer, guys. This is going to be it. You guys are watching history right now. A cutting edge. Hold on. Oh, here we go. 50, 51, 52, 53, 54, 55, 56, 57, 58, 59. Boom! Oh, look at that. It wrapped around, back down to zero. Oh my goodness. Gentlemen, this is a real stopwatch. 1,000 hours. And make note of the time, all right? 9:22 p.m. Central Time, Friday night. I know that there's nothing better that you guys would want to do than watch my crusty old Mudman roll over to 1,000 hours. And, yep, still smells like diesel. It won't stop smelling like diesel. It's just the way it is. And by the way, those of you guys who follow me on Watch Crunch, you guys know today I was wearing the G-Shock GA-2100 BCE. Fantastic watch. Both of these are fantastic, but this is the toughest as nails, all right? And a lot of you guys are asking about the Mudmaster. Well, we got to beef up the war chest. And the war chest took a hit this past week because I got that PBJ 010, whatever it was, the new Pro Trek with a bungee cord. Let me get my other G-Shocks right here. Because we got to make room for that Pro Trek, so some of these may not be here for very long. I may have to go on to the selling block, but the Mudman's here to stay. And we're going to find out about the metal bezel Mudman. Should be coming out soon, right? And in September, it is rumored that the brand new GA 2010D will be hitting the United States. So if there's enough money in the war chest, we'll take a look at that. We'll get our hands on that one. And the thing is that we have to finish up the battle for the best color for the new GA 2110D. So it looks like navy blue won in the battle of the candy colors. Navy blue won. So navy blue will be taking on the clear coat silver color of the GA 2010D in the next poll. All right, and I was just watching Tim Johnson's YouTube channel. His son Noah was on there talking about watches, and I think it's official now. Tim Johnson is wearing his own GBDH 2000, so we'll see what he thinks of it. And he's a guy who's up on his feet working. So again, the advantage of these fitness watches is that you can roll over your work-related activities into your overall fitness profile. Okay. Tim Johnson's son also ranking the WS 1700 pretty highly. So that was a interesting video I watched today. All right. And the Two-Tone King still sold out. Guys, I put the link down there if you get that Two-Tone King with a positive LCD screen. All right. And if it becomes available again, and there's enough in the war chest, I may buy that one too, because I want to test to see whether the type of mud-resistant buttons are superior to these kind of over-engineered mud-resistant buttons that have like a whole cushioning system and pin system. This is just a crude cover, right? And this is my first time going live on the phone, so does anybody know how to check comments? All right, I don't know at all. Hold on, maybe this button. Let me see. I can't see. Guys, hold on. Nope. Nope. Some of you guys may be saying something good. Sorry, I'm missing it because I'm a boomer, so don't know how to do this live streaming stuff. But anyways, yes, okay. And the AE 1500 has a pretty good stopwatch. I mean, that's the occasion for us getting together tonight, is to see the stopwatch rolling over. And I believe that this one goes at 24 hours, okay? So still not as good as the 1,000 hours, all right? 1,000 hours is just legendary when it comes to a stopwatch, right? I mean, like, the only other stopwatch that could compete against the Mudman is a calendar. And, but these newfangled watches, especially like these, you know, these watches, like the stopwatches, I mean, they're pretty pathetic, right? And the timers are even worse. You have the 1 hour timer, all right? And the timer on the Mudman, the timer is a totally different function from stopwatch. Stopwatch times up, timer times down, all right? And the timer on the Mudman, well, let's just see what it is. It's pretty easy to set. At the top, you see where it says the hours. All right. 18 hours, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23. Oh, so I can go up to 24 hours because, you know, you'd come down here and move this up to 24, right? Well, that's 24 minutes. So sorry, 59. Excuse me, 59 minutes, and then, you know, 59 seconds, whatever. You get the idea. 24-hour timer on the Mudman. And so those two things are pretty good. And it's a shame, but all of these like hyper advanced MIP display watches, where did I throw it? You know, let me get out of power saving mode just to show you that, you know, you go into the timer's 1 hour, which is sad, very sad that you have a G-Shock OS, which I call G-Sauce, and it could go up to, you know, some like crazy timer, like some value here, but for some reason the programmers just couldn't type the button that says, you know, that would add like a day, like 1 day, or just the timer. It's just 60 minutes. That's like not even better than like if you had, say you had an analog watch and a bezel, like a timing bezel. Well, that bezel, you know, could time 1 hour, right? And you have this watch released in 2003, in the year of our Lord 2023, and the timer's worse than the bezel on an analog watch. Sad, just really sad. A lot of potential on this watch. The thing that's crazy about the GBDH 2000 is that the physical aspects of the watch are absolutely amazing. I just can't believe how comfortable it is, how light it is, and how good it is as a fitness watch, that I wish that the software matched suit. All right, but it's tough, as I just demonstrated. And the King is tough. And the King, what is the timer on the King? I cannot remember. Can you guys even see? It's very difficult to see. Okay, so look, there's space for hours up there on the stopwatch. So on this particular King, the stopwatch does not display the local time. All right, Deech said something. My new Mudman GW-9500 MEC1JF made it from Japan to New York City. Should arrive next week. The new emergency colors one. Steel bezel ring. Hoping the Mudman hype is real. Deech, you are on the cutting edge of watch wearing here, okay? So the Mudman, in my experience, I mean, it's not a pretty watch by any means, but when you buy a G-Shock for toughness, this one is amazing. I think it's just so dadgum tough. All right, and the plastic bezel's a little warped. Remember, we got those little gauge feelers out, and there's 3/100ths of an inch difference between the bezel under the H and the bezel near this little crenellation, right? And you can kind of see in the light, see how it's warped. It's kind of like your gums pulling back from your teeth as you become a middle-aged man, right? Not something you want to see on your watch, okay? Doesn't bother me that much, but I can understand how it could bother some other people, right? But if this bezel was metal, then you wouldn't have to worry about, warpage. You may have to worry about, when you're arc welding or something, or working on electrical equipment like the battery of your truck or something that, you get electrocuted, you'd have to worry about that, but you would not have to worry about the durability. And one other thing too is that these little these bolts here that hold down these crenellations, they can scratch. So I'm just wondering if the metal bezel on the Mudman, what kind of damage it would do to like the side of a pickup as you walk by, All right. Nicholas Cage, LOL Cage, checks in. He says, I love old G-Shock. I have DW-6600 Classic 1994 Navy SEAL G-Shock. Oh, yeah. That's a good one. Blast from the past. 94. Yeah, that's a good year for G-Shock. And the classic DW-6600. Hang on to that one. Oh, the Fat Classic is in the chat. All right. What was for lunch today, Jimbo? BizTech plates? Ah, man, lunch. What do we have? Well, for breakfast, my supervisor Shane went out and we bought donuts and kolaches and breakfast sandwiches for everybody on the location we were working. And those were scrumptious, all right? Very buttery, very, I'm talking about the sandwiches here. Like the croissant was very buttery. I mean, for this area, and I'm in West Texas, it was unbelievable. No BizTech plate, though. I only know one place in Odessa to get BizTech plate, but I am thinking of doing like a whole series on the BizTech plate, covering the history of the BizTech plate, the current status of the BizTech plate. What is a BizTech plate? The future of a BizTech plate. All of these questions everybody wants to know about BizTech plate. And maybe we can get in the kitchen, see him working on the BizTech plate. And if I were to go back in the kitchen, I would probably want a really durable watch in case there's like grease splashing everywhere, as you would imagine there would be when they're making BizTech plate. And so I would be wearing the AE 1500 during this investigative report, or the Mudman, either one. I think that this would be, the AE 1500 be a good watch for, guys working in the kitchen, because, of all of the hazards in the kitchen, this would definitely hold up to it. All the splash grease, etc. And all of the splash grease could easily run out of these little gaps. It might pool up in the king. Like, imagine if you were mixing up BizTech plate all day, spatulas in each hand, just chopping, and BizTech grease was just splashing all into the king, and it was just pooling up in the king. And by the end of the day, it was just like slap full of grease in the bezel of the king. I would lick it. I would lick it clean, but some people might not. All right, you let it drain out. C4 banana flavor. I have not seen a C4 banana flavor. I did have a banana today from this hotel for breakfast, Holiday Inn Kermit, Texas, but I had, I believe it was a pink Starburst C4 today in the afternoon. What is your favorite cheap Casio? Well, this is a really good looking cheap Casio, all right? This is the WS 1700. This is a new release, relatively new release, all right? This one has an error. I believe they fixed the error. This one looks really nice. I cannot help but be impressed by how sharp this one looks. It has like, kind of a throwback, kind of nostalgic look, but, Tim Johnson's son, who's a young buck, You know, there's no way he could be nostalgic for the 80s, but he still picked this one out as being a top 5. And so I think that the appeal of this is more than just nostalgia. I think that there's just something about this one. This one looks good, all right? And like I said, there's an error, and the error is when you go onto the dual time, it doesn't handle PM. It just like doesn't say PM. It just keeps on saying AM, all right? But this one's a good looking one. My favorite of the El Cheapos is without a doubt the AE 1500, all right? This is a big, beefy El Cheapo Casio, and huge numbers, right? And even on the negative display of this one, you can read it. They have some advanced technology, pretty impressive. And so this is definitely the one that I shill for when it comes to the El Cheapo Casios, all right? And some guy in the comments checking in from India, like, laid out that he could choose from between the two of these, and he was in India, so the price difference, I believe that there was no price difference, and he was like, which one should I get? Well, I'm thinking, I mean, this is like, I think that, you know, if you want to look smart and sophisticated, you got to get this one. But I'm not smart and sophisticated. I'm big and bold, right? And so I told him I would get the AE 1500. The truth is, you can't go wrong with either of these. And actually, on closer inspection, I mean, you hold these two next to each other, the AE 1500 isn't that much bigger than the WS 1700. The WS 1700 is by no means a small watch, all right? And you know how small they get. I do not have many small watches. I believe that this is the smallest one that I have. And this is some El Cheapo Casio I bought at Academy. The F108WH, all right? You can see all the damage that this one took. Band broke. That's what motivated me to get a new one. And that's what caused me to get all these G-Shocks. Just getting tired of watches breaking all the time. All right, Techno 15. Evening, Jim. I came across your channel because of your Ariat Workhog XT boot short video. I was wondering if you recommend them. Oh, Techno 15. All right, let's take a look at them. These are, without a doubt, the best work boots I've ever had when it comes to cowboy style work boots. I've had these for 1 year. This is the longest I've ever owned a pair of oil field work boots. Could not recommend them more. The only thing is the waterproofing only goes up to the mouth on this skeleton man, okay? This is a vent. This vent of this Ariat skeleton's hard hat and eyeballs is not waterproof. So water or mud or whatever would rush in. But it does allow the boot to be very, it's not as stifling as some other ones. And the durability is amazing. Like I said, I've had these for a year. So I'm due for a new boot voucher. And I was thinking about getting another one to compare it to these. But these are just the best in my experience. And when I bought these, I weighed 300 pounds. I weigh about 260, maybe 250 pounds now. And they held up. Most boots get all squished down and your heel starts moving off the back. You guys know what I'm talking about on these cowboy style work boots that you pull on. So I highly recommend these. I'll probably just get another pair. I'll go to Cavender's. You guys can come with me and I'll show you some other boots that are there that look good. But, you know, the only way you know if something's good or bad is by using it. You know, you got to try it out. And these are amazing. Ariat. I'm going to be getting some more Ariat stuff for the channel. We're going to be looking at some Ariat stuff. I think Ariat's amazing. The past 10 years, they've like been getting better and better, and they started out as really good. All right, David Rivera. So David lifts heavy plates, heavy circles. My aging eyes like the AE 1500 more every day. That's right. We get the reading glasses gang checking in. AE 1500, you can read across a room. No squinting at all when it comes to this puppy. I am nearsighted, right? But, you know, if I do not have my contacts or glasses on, I can still read this without holding it way too close. So, AE 1500 is a good for the farsighted gang. Ever check out a Frogman? Deech wants to know. Just online. I have not even tried on a Frogman, but they look amazing. I was looking at that top of the line $5,000 one, and you know, if I had a war chest that big, I would definitely be getting that one because the FKM band and everything, it looks amazing. Really big, but such a bold statement. All right, Techno 15. Yes, I believe he's asking about the Workhog boots. If you like the cowboy style pull-on ones, then those are good. You know what you're in for. Some guys need laces if you're climbing up on roofs or whatever. Electrical work, I believe that. I'm pretty sure that those Workhogs are electrical hazard proof. Yeah, if you work in a refinery, I think that you get a lot of mileage out of them. In my experience, they take some breaking in, but after you break them in, very long lasting. A1500 best display Casio ever. Name a better one. Go ahead, name a better one. I'll wait. Look at that. Like this. Like I should get a tape measure. Look how big these numbers are. Look how easy this is to read in the AE 1500, right? My buddy Will, who does coil tubing, he wears this, rigging up, rigging down. Not this one, but he wears an AE 1500, and it's very durable. For an El Cheapo Casio. Obviously, it has its limits, but Vaughn Cruel says, "Hey guys, wearing my GX50." Oh, he's flexing on us. All right. GX56 TU King G-Shock. I've really bonded with this one. You will never know until you spend time with a watch. That's right. Wearing a King is an experience, and I don't think it should be your only watch, but if you have watches, if you like watches, if you have a bunch of them, the King should be one of them. Pick out a King, and I recommend the positive display. The advantage of this one is that this one has a multi-band 6. And living in Texas, we pick it up really easily. And I have to charge up my phone, guys. Let me see. I gotta find a solution for charging. Let me just throw this over here. Sorry about that. The stopwatch time just came up on me all of a sudden, and I had to start recording really quick. I had like 1 minute left, so I did not get my phone ready for the charging. This is highly unprofessional of me to be plugging in my phone for charging, but here we go. Yeah, all right, now Vaughn Cruel's really rubbing it in. He has the sold out GX56 TU, the two-tone. All right, my Fat Classics is asking about Denise's G-Shock. It's been holding up well. She has the DWH 5600, which is, like a square, kind of like, where is it? Kind of like, kind of like this. This is a Casio, an El Cheapo, but like a square, has an MIP screen. You turn it over, it has the heart rate monitor. Denise likes that one. My wife Denise wears that, and she also wears a 2100 series watch that has gold bezel. David says the AE 1500 is the only negative display I've found to be usable, but I still prefer the positive one 99% of the time. Yeah, I know I've heard that too. This AE 1500 negative somehow still works, and I think it's because of how thick the segments are in the digits. Right? When you have like a negative screen like this one, and the digits are just so small, there's just not enough light that can get in there. All right, Vaughn Cruel says, actually, it was your YouTube short that gave me the impulse to get one. Went to Canada's G-Shock site and got it no problem. Yeah, good on you. That's good. That's what you got to do. I recommend buying them from Casio directly. I had a problem with my Rangeman GPR H1000. Didn't have to jump through any hoops to prove that I was actually purchased it since I bought it directly from Casio. And, you go to a dealer or go to the Casio. And I had heard that in Canada, you guys do not have G-Shock points. That's where I got this. In the United States, we have G-Shock points. I think this was 500 G-Shock points, something like that. It's a whole bunch of G-Shock points, and I've allowed this Bertucci watch to get inside the G-Shock toolbox, but you know, this is a really good toolbox. I had to look up the company, Toyo, made in Japan. These are really great toolboxes. I could not believe how good this toolbox is. Can you guys see it says Japan? I'm gonna buy more of these, like just, you know, like for tools, you know? Buying on eBay. I bought my Pro Trek on eBay. Got a really good deal on it. Kind of lucked out because the guy before me had taken such good care of it. My son Steve has that one now. It's the PRW 3500. But yeah, buying on eBay. I mean, there's risks involved, and there's also risks involved in Amazon. You know, I've heard people getting ripped off on Amazon, and you know, you got to be careful. And then, you know, that's why you pay more buying at full retail price when you buy it directly from Casio, but you are paying a little bit for a peace of mind. You like Timex watches? I did back in the 90s. I preferred Timex watches over Casio back in the 90s, but something happened where the quality of Timex went down, and then, you know, of course, I discovered G-Shocks, which leapfrog over Timex by a long shot in terms of quality. Curtis says, the day I saw you show the AE 1500 at Walmart and bought two. Yeah, right. That's what I'm talking about. I mean, the $22. I mean, think about all the times like we waste $20 on stupid stuff, you know, like scratch tickets or, you know, like those little Zinn pouches or whatever. On pouches, or, you know, I don't know. Just think of all the ways that you waste money here and there, and it ends up being like $20, right? This AE 1500 is just $22 in the United States, and it's like it's money well spent. You buy two of them, you know, maybe you can get a couple of different colors for, you know, different applications, and you can't go wrong. One breaks, chuck that one in the trash and just put on the other one. I mean, it's only $22, right? Von Krul says he's had luck buying from resellers in Japan. Says it went well. Tried Sakura, went fine. Good to know. I've not tried either of those, but that's good to know. Fat Classic. Canada usually gets the short end of the stick when it comes to loyalty points and online shopping in general. Yeah, that's too bad, man. I mean, like, you have that you know, exchange rate on top of everything else. It makes it tough. Like, I don't get legally why all the deals can't just be the same. You know, like even on eBay, there's like all these weird fees if I as an American am buying from someone in Canada. It's just like, it's a huge drag. I mean, we gotta streamline everything going over the border between the United States and Canada. That's for dadgum sure. Gentlemen, I have to go, all right? So the whole purpose of this live stream was just to see the Mudman cross over to 1,000 hours on the stopwatch, which we did. It was a celebration. It was an amazing experience to finally see that happen. It went from 99 hours down to 0, all right? And so stay tuned for more crazy content. And all right, thanks, Fat Classic. God bless. And remember, guys, Jesus is the way, the truth, and the life. No man comes to the Father except through him. I'm Jim Kincaid. Thanks for watching. Probably can't do that here. People are